Tolu had always been the kind of girlfriend who believed that if you love someone, you have to trust them. She didn't like snooping around or going through phones, and she didn't like playing detective. But with Deji, her so-called sugar in human form, that trust was slowly starting to feel like a death sentence. For months now, little things had been happening and strange tiny red flags kept waving at her. But she kept folding them neatly and putting them in the back of her mind because she loved him too much to admit that they might mean something. At first, it was the little lies, the phone call he would step outside to take and come back smiling awkwardly, saying it was work call, the lipstick stain on his shirt that he swore was suya oil, or was it the constant network problems that only seemed to happen when she called him after 9 p.m. and every time she saw something suspicious, Deji had a ready-made story to justify it. He would cook lies the way a chef cooked jollof rice, quickly, confidently, and with plenty of seasoning. One Saturday afternoon, she decided to surprise him with his favorites, amala and ewedu, from that place he liked in Surulere. She brought the food to his apartment, and after setting the food down on the table, she went to the bathroom to wash her hands. That was when she saw the evidence. Sitting pretty on the bathroom shelf, next to his shaving stick and deodorant, was a pink bottle of Femme Fresh feminine wash. Tolu froze. She stared at it as if it was about to explain itself. She didn't even touch it. She just blinked and blinked, hoping she was hallucinating. Unfortunately, it was real. When she finally asked him about it later that evening, she tried so hard to stay calm. Deji, I saw something in your bathroom today. A pink bottle of Femme Fresh. Deji didn't even flinch. Oh, that's, babe, it's for my face now. Tolu raised one eyebrow. Your face? Yes, now, he said confidently. It makes the skin soft. You know my face is sensitive, right? She wanted to laugh and scream at the same time. So, Deji, you are telling me that you are using feminine wash for skincare? Deji nodded as if it was the most normal thing in the world. Babe, the wash has no gender rule now. Don't be old-fashioned. Tolu couldn't win him in this argument, so she decided to let it go because she didn't have strength to argue that day. She convinced herself that maybe it really was nothing. But then, 2 weeks later, she came to his apartment and found a black miniskirt stuffed in the corner of his wardrobe. Deji, whose skirt is this? Without missing a beat, he replied as usual, it is mine. Tolu blinked. Yours? Yes, now, I use it for TikTok to do this princess dance. Tolu stared at him with her mouth open. She wanted to ask him if he had inhaled generator fumes. A princess dance, she repeated slowly. Yes, now, Deji said, smiling like a man telling the truth. So you don't used to watch my business TikTok, right? That is how you miss my viral video one day. Tolu put the skirt down quietly, but inside, her heart was boiling. It wasn't just about the lies. It was how confidently he said them. She could see in his eyes that he wasn't even afraid. He believed that as long as he smiled and talked fast enough, she would swallow anything. Then, the final straw broke one evening when she was scrolling through her messages and got a notification from an unknown number. She opened it and froze. It was a video from a girl's Instagram account. A video of Deji and this same girl kissing on a bed. Not just any kiss, so a slow deep kiss, and they were both vibing to With You by Omale and Davido in the background. Tolu immediately forwarded the video to Deji and called him. Deji, what is this? She demanded. Deji looked at the video and casually said, oh babe, that's an old video now, from like 2 years ago. Tolu couldn't believe her ears. 2 years ago, you both were singing With You by Omale and Davido. That song came out this year. Deji didn't miss a beat. He said, yes, now I know, but I learnt the song before Davido released it. Tolu stared at her phone in disbelief. So now you are saying you're a prophet? You saw the future, Abi. You heard the song in your dream. Deji nodded seriously. Yes, now babe, the world is deep and spiritual. You just don't understand these things. Tolu stood in silence for a moment, wondering if love had truly made her blind or if she had entered a relationship with a stand-up comedian who was dashing her red flags like Sobeno. After they learned the song before the video incident, Tolu swore to herself that she was done asking Deji for explanations. She told herself, if I see anything again, I will just carry my bag and go. Because at this point, Deji was behaving like a mobile generator of suspicious activity. You could switch him off today and tomorrow he would turn back on with a fresh set of lies. One Sunday afternoon, she was in his living room watching TV when she noticed a pair of shiny red heels under the couch. She picked them up slowly, went to the room where Deji was and held the shoes up like a police exhibit. Deji, who owns this? He looked up from his phone and smiled. Ah, those are mine. Tolu blinked. Yours? Yes, now. Sometimes I wear them when I'm changing over from NEPA to generator. Tolu stared at him in shock. You wear heels to change over to gen? Yes, babe. It helps with balance. That was it. Tolu was fully convinced that she wasn't dealing with an ordinary human being. She was dating a seasoned professional in the Ministry of Creative Lies. So she left his house that day and blocked him off from her life, physically and spiritually. That evening, while still fuming, she went to see her friend Kehinde to rant. Kehinde lived just 2 streets away from hers, and her own relationship drama with her boyfriend Fola was already like a Netflix series. Tolu entered and found Kehinde pacing around the room, holding her phone and looking like she was ready to throw it out of the window. What happened? Tolu asked. Kehinde shoved the phone at her. My boyfriend's ex just sent me this video. Tolu looked and saw Fola, Kehinde's boyfriend, in bed with his ex, who was kissing his ears and singing Darling by Chela. Tolu covered her mouth. Oh my God. What did he say when you asked him? Kehinde sighed and shook her head. He said it's an old video from 2 years ago. Tolu froze. Wait, what? Yes, Kehinde shouted. Can you imagine? And they were singing that Darling song that was released some months ago. Tolu's eyes widened. Don't tell me. Kehinde nodded. He said his ex is the artist's cousin and she was the one who gave him the song before he released it. For a moment, the 2 friends just stared at each other in stunned silence. Then, they burst out laughing so hard that tears rolled down their cheeks. I am led to believe that these men are attending the same life seminar, Tolu said. I swear, Kehinde said. And it gets even worse so. Do you know I found a wedding invitation in his drawer with his name on it? Guess what he said? What? That the lady was desperate and printed it herself. Tolu held her chest. Ah, please introduce me to this lady. I want her to print a visa for me to Canada. That same week, Kehinde and Fola's relationship hit the bucket and Kehinde deleted him from her life. But if Tolu thought that she and Kehinde had seen the worst of it, they hadn't yet met with Amara, their mutual friend, whose own boyfriend Chuka was about to prove that when it comes to lying, some men don't just improvise, they freestyle like rap gods. Amara was the one they always went to whenever they all needed to vent about men. But these days, she had been unusually quiet in the group chat. She wasn't posting her usual relationship quotes again. The next Sunday after church, the 3 of them decided to meet at a small restaurant near Amara's place. As soon as Amara sat down, she dropped her bag on the chair and sighed the sigh of a woman who has carried another person's foolishness on her head for too long. What happened? Tolu asked. Amara didn't even bother with greetings. It's Chuka. My boyfriend has turned me into an extra in a comedy skit. Kehinde leaned in. Talk, my sister, we are listening. Amara began. 2 weeks ago, this man traveled to Abuja for a work trip. or so he said. For the first 3 days, he picked my calls. Then one morning, I didn't hear from him. He did not call or text, not even to reply me. I was going crazy, and then after 2 weeks, he finally called. Tolu squinted. What did he say? Amara's lips tightened. He said he had a throat surgery for tonsillitis and he couldn't talk. Kehinde's eyes widened. Throat surgery and he couldn't even text you? Amara nodded bitterly. Exactly. So I asked him why he didn't message me or at least drop a note. Do you know what he said? He said typing would strain his throat. Tolu nearly fell off her chair from laughter. Typing strains the throat. Amara held up a finger. That is not even the worst part. So I told him I had seen his Instagram story during those 2 weeks. Do you know what he said? That the doctor posted it because they were in possession of his phone. Kehinde slapped the table. Please, what kind of doctor is that? Posting Instagram stories for patients? Amara threw her hands up. Exactly. And I should believe it because love is patient and kind. They were all laughing when Amara leaned forward and lowered her voice. Wait, that is not even all though. 2 nights ago, I video called him and a girl picked up. Tolu and Kehinde gasped in unison. What did she say? Tolu asked. She looked me straight in the eyes and said she is his girlfriend. Kehinde's jaw dropped. She just said it like that. Yes, so later I confronted Chuka. Do you know what this man told me? What? He said it wasn't a real girl, that it was AI. The restaurant went silent for a second as they processed that level of boldness. Tolu held her head. Wait. So your man is telling you that an AI picked your call and spoke to you? Amara shrugged helplessly. Yes, and I was supposed to just accept it. You know, sometimes I think these men sit together somewhere and share lies like trade secrets, because how is it that every time I talk to you two, it is the same level of madness? Kehinde nodded. I believe they are attending one workshop somewhere. National Association of Men Who Lie Without Blinking. They all laughed, but the laughter was bitter around the edges. It was during that laughter that Amara's phone rang. She looked at it and rolled her eyes. Speak of the devil, she muttered and put the call on speaker. Chuka's sweet voice came through. Babe, I miss you. Tolu and Kehinde looked at each other and bit their lips to stop themselves from screaming into the phone. Amara leaned back in her chair. Really? Or is this AI talking? There was a pause, then Chuka said, Babe, why are you like this now? I was just thinking about us. Kehinde couldn't hold it again. She grabbed the phone and shouted, Chuka, when next you want to lie, just remember you are talking to a woman with brains. They ended the call quickly before the restaurant manager would ask them to keep their voices down. On the walk home, Amara told them, Anyway, I am done crying. If Chuka wants to keep lying, he can go and lie to someone who is studying gullibility. I am not doing this again. Tolu sighed. I can't even persuade you not to leave him before an innocent daughter of Eve will keep collecting red flags like Christmas decorations. Kehinde smirked. Speaking of decorations, have you people heard what happened to Bissy? Tolu frowned. Bissy, what happened to her? Kehinde shook her head. Her own boyfriend's lies will even make our own look like nursery rhymes. By the time they got to Bissy's place that evening, the sun was already setting. Bissy was their mutual friend who seemed to have her life together. She had a good job, a nice apartment, and was always smiling. But that evening, when she opened her door, her face looked like someone had just stolen her salary. They all sat down in her living room and Amara wasted no time. Bissy, Kehinde said your man has entered the Special Hall of Fame. Talk to us. Bissy sat down and crossed her arms. My own is a movie, the kind that should win African Magic Viewers' Choice Awards. You people will not believe me. Tolu leaned forward. We are ready. Spill. Bissy took a deep breath. Last week, I went to his place. Everything was fine until I entered the bedroom and saw eyelash extensions on his bed. And not just one strand though, full long dramatic lashes. You know the type slay queens wear to fight the wind. Kehinde gasped. Did you ask him? Bissy sighed. Yes. And do you know what this man told me? He said it is from his dog. For a second, the ladies went silent. Then Tolu burst out laughing so hard that she nearly fell off the sofa. His dog? His dog is wearing lashes now? Yes, Bissy replied. Apparently, his dog is a beauty influencer. Amara was wiping off tears from her eyes. So, the dog removed her lashes on the bed for what? For comfort? That is not even all, Bissy said. We were still talking about the dog's fashion career when there was a loud knock on his front door. Not a polite knock, it was serious banging, as if someone wanted to break in. What happened? Tolu asked curiously. Bissy leaned forward. The moment he heard the knock, he panicked, turned to me and said I shouldn't make any noise, that it is EFCC. Kehinde blinked. EFCC, like financial crime officers. Yes, and according to him, EFCC targets young successful men and they now send women to knock first. So, if you lose guard and open the door, they will rush in and arrest you. The three friends stared at her speechless. Amara spoke first. So, you believed him? Bissy gave her a bombastic side eye. Of course not. But the knock kept getting louder, so I decided to step outside through the back door, just in case. When I got to the backyard, I looked through the corner, and do you know who was knocking? Who? They all asked in unison. A woman, Bissy said. She was not wearing EFCC uniform or even holding any ID card. Just a regular girl. And she was calling his name as if she was ready to fight. Tolu put her hand on her chest. So, she was probably his real girlfriend. Or one of them, Bissy corrected. But me, I just quietly left that day. I don't want to be part of his EFCC drama. Kehinde shook her head in pity. This boyfriend cheating drama is gradually turning into a crime documentary. Bissy laughed bitterly. Honestly, I thought I had seen the worst, but then I heard about Jumoke's story and her own boyfriend. All I can say is he is very special. Tolu sat up straight. Special how? Bissy smirked. Let's just say if you think dogs wearing lashes and EFCC girlfriends are bad, wait until you hear about earrings for removing SIM cards and crop tops for remembrance. The three of them looked at each other and their curiosity got the better of them. So they immediately set out to Jumoke's house that same evening, ready to add another chapter to the book of men and their professional lives. By the time the girls reached Jumoke's apartment, they were already shaking their heads in disbelief at what they might hear. Jumoke was the quiet one in their circle who was always telling everyone else to take it easy, but that evening, when she opened the door, her face was tight and her eyes had that tired look of a woman who had just been forced to do advanced mathematics in her relationship. They all sat down in her living room and Bissy wasted no time. Jumoke, please, tell them what you told me. Let them know we are not mad women. Jumoke laughed bitterly. Where do I even start? Start from the beginning, Amara said. We have time. Jumoke took a deep breath. So last weekend, I went to his place to spend the day. Everything was fine, until I started looking for my charger in his drawer and I saw a pair of women's earrings. Not small studs though, proper dangling earrings with shiny stones. I held them up and asked him, whose earrings are these? Tolu and Kehinde were already leaning forward, and what did he say? Jumoke's face went blank. He looked me dead in the eyes and said, they are his. He uses them to remove SIM cards. The room went silent for 3 seconds. Then Amara burst out laughing so hard that she choked. SIM cards? 2 matching earrings for SIM cards? Yes, Jumoke said. Apparently, one is for MTN and the other is for Airtel. Tolu was holding her stomach from too much laughter by now. So, your boyfriend runs a telecom office now? Jumoke continued. I didn't even have time to fully digest that one because a few minutes later, I opened his wardrobe and saw a crop top and a wig in a bag. Kehinde clapped her hands once. Let me guess, they belong to his sister. Jumoke smiled bitterly. I asked him and he said they were for his late mother for remembrance sake. The other women sat still to process the information. Bissy frowned. Wait, his late mother wore crop tops? Yes, Jumoke said, and apparently she also wore lace front wigs with baby hairs. Amara leaned back in her chair and shook her head slowly. Men are, I don't even know the word again. All I can say is we are dating stand-up comedians that don't even have Netflix specials. They were still laughing when Tolu leaned forward and said, you know, for all this madness, there is still one person we haven't heard from, Ifama. Bissy raised an eyebrow. Ifama, that is true. Then today we must hear it. After all, this Friday is Girlfriend's Day. We might as well complete the collection of madness. So they all picked up their bags and made their way to Ifama's place, not knowing that the story she was about to tell them would somehow make crop tops for remembrance look like a reasonable explanation. By the time the ladies arrived at Ifama's apartment, it was already past 7 p.m. Ifama opened the door wearing an oversized t-shirt and a cup of tea. She ushered them in and before they could even sit, Bissy blurted out, Ifama, please tell us. We have been collecting stories all day and I have a feeling your own will break the record. Ifama scoffed, my own? You people might actually cry and laugh at the same time. Tolu gestured towards the couch. Sit down and talk, we are ready. Ifama sank into the sofa and took a sip of tea before speaking. So, my boyfriend, the one I told you about, the one I met in the university, well, some months ago, I found out he had been involved with his ex-girlfriend. Kehinde frowned. Involved how? Ifama rolled her eyes. Involved as in sleeping with her. The funny part is, she's still in secondary school. The room went dead silent for a second. Amara raised her hand. Sorry, what? Yes, Ifama nodded. So I confronted him. I asked him why he did that. Do you know what this man told me? What? They all asked in unison. He said she is a sickle cell patient and that he didn't want her condition to escalate. The room exploded in laughter. What? Since when did cheating become a treatment for sickle cell? Ifama continued. Apparently, sleeping with her was his own way of managing her health crisis. He even said he was doing it out of pity. Kehinde shook her head to shift back the tears of laughter. So, your boyfriend is now WHO, World Health Organization. Ifama shrugged. When I told him to explain how that works scientifically, he got angry and said, I just don't understand compassion. They were still shaking their heads when Ifama added, and that is not even the part that finished me. Oh, one Saturday, he told me his mother had died and that he needed to travel to the village for the burial arrangements immediately. It was so sudden. I too was in shock. I even cried with him. I told him to be safe and I couldn't travel with him because it was far. Tolu frowned. So what happened? Ifama leaned forward. Do you know that same afternoon, I went to Chicken Republic to buy food. Guess who I saw there? Him. He was sitting at a table with another girl eating. Yo, the other lady screamed so loudly that the neighbors probably heard. Yes, Ifama said. So I sat behind him quietly and called him on video. He picked up but quickly blocked the camera so I couldn't see where he was. He kept turning the phone so I could only see his face. Kehinde slapped her thigh. Camera gymnastics. Ifama continued. Then he said, babe, I'm just sitting here thinking of my mom. All of them burst into loud, uncontrollable laughter. Amara wiped tears from her eyes. We need to gather all these men, please, and send them to one big conference hall. Let them teach this line as a course. Advanced Fabrication 101. Bissy leaned back. Honestly, we should just make a book out of this. We'll title it Men and the Professional Lies They Tell. Tolu chuckled, and the foreword will be dedicated to all girlfriends who had been told that their man's dog wears eyelash extensions. Just then, Ifama's phone rang. She looked down. rolled her eyes and put it face down on the table. Kehinde grinned. Who is that? My ex, probably calling to tell me about another medical emergency that requires cheating. They all erupted into fresh laughter. Tolu stretched and said, well, we have done Bissy, Jumoke, and now Ifama, but there is one person left. Bissy's eyes lit up. Adamma. Amara grinned. Ah, it's true. Adamma. Her own boyfriend's lies are like Nollywood scripts. She is the grand finale we need for this meeting. They all nodded in agreement, grabbed their bags and headed out into the cold Lagos night, ready to hear one last story that would seal the day. They arrived at Adamma's apartment just after 8 p.m. Adamma opened the door wearing leggings and an oversized hoodie. The look on her face was the same look you saw on war veterans in documentaries. The look of someone who had seen too much and survived. They didn't even bother with greetings. They dropped their bags, settled into her living room, and Kehinde went straight to the point. Adamma, we have been hearing stories all day. The others have spoken. They say your own will close the show for Girlfriend's Day. Please, don't disappoint us. Adamma laughed dryly. Close the show? My sisters, my own is the after party. They leaned in. It started with just small things, so she began. I was already catching him texting his ex late at night, but when I asked why, he told me he was asking her for money. Tolu raised an eyebrow. Money? Yes, he wanted me to believe that men go to their exes for short-term loans now. Well, I let that one slide. Then one evening, I called him and a girl picked up. When I asked who she was, he said it was the customer care representative. Kehinde squinted. Customer care is holding his phone? Yes, Adamma said, and his explanation was that she had been trying to hack his iCloud for weeks because he was owing MTN. The women were already laughing, but Adamma wasn't even finished. That wasn't even the one that broke me. There was one time I saw a video of him kissing another girl. You know, this long, slow kiss. I confronted him and do you know what he said? What? They chorused. He said she was depressed and needed the kiss to be happy. The room went silent for a second, then exploded into laughter. Tolu was slapping the couch and crying while laughing. So, he is now a mental health therapist. Adamma laughed bitterly. Yes, so a kissing consultant for the emotionally unwell. But wait now, the grand finale is coming. She leaned forward and lowered her voice as if she was about to reveal a top secret. One night, after I caught him with another woman in bed with my 2 naked eyes, the next morning, he came to my house, pulled out a kitchen knife, stripped himself completely naked and started crying. He swore with the Bible that he had never cheated on me, that I didn't know what I saw. Amara's eyes widened. Naked, with knife and Bible, after cheating? Is this a Nollywood audition? Adamma shook her head. That was what I thought so. He kept crying, saying he couldn't leave if I didn't believe him. He was trying to convince me that I didn't see anything. Meanwhile, I saw him with my 2 naked eyes, but he still kept on saying, babe, you are the best I have ever met. Kehinde said sarcastically, so best means let me cheat in peace, Abi? Adamma smiled bitterly. Apparently, I had to chase him out of my life before he would make me start doubting my own existence. They all sat in silence for a moment, letting the absurdity sink in. Then Tolu said what they were all thinking. These men are not just liars. They are creatives. They should be paid for their imagination. Then Adamma went in and brought a bottle of wine and glasses. She poured wine for everyone and raised her own glass. Ladies, to us for surviving them. Amara clinked her glass to the ones who walked away. Kehinde lifted hers, and to those still in the group chat collecting red flags like souvenir keychains. May they find sense soon. They all laughed freely because they knew that no matter how outrageous the lies were, they had each other to remind them that they weren't crazy. Then Bissy said, next year's Girlfriend's Day, I am buying all of us a lie detector machine each. Kehinde grinned. Forget lie detectors. Let's just get new boyfriends who fear God. Tolu laughed. Or at least, boyfriends whose dogs don't wear eyelash extensions. The girls all laughed again and went on to prepare dinner together as a way to end the girlfriend's day, which to them had been honored in the most unforgettable way. Even though there were no flowers or chocolates, the shared relief of knowing that whatever madness these men cooked up, they would never face it alone beats every other gift. Happy girlfriend day to you, besties. Remember to always have each other's back, no matter what. Thank you for watching the story. Kindly share your thoughts about the story with me in the comment section. Which lie shocked you the most? And please share your own experience with us in the comment section. Give the story a thumbs up and share the story out with your loved ones. Subscribe to this channel if you've not done so by now. Until I bring another story your way. Bye!